Yes, hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a gouache painting. I haven't done gouache in so long, but I thought I would just have a bit of a play, a bit of a practice. And so today I'm going to do a little bear, little brown bear, and just have a practice and see how I go with these gouache. I've had them for ages sitting in my art room. And yeah, I just wanted to see how I go. So I've been watching a few of my favourite art creators who use gouache, and I feel inspired, very inspired to give these a try again. Okay, so I'm just going to draw one bear. I think I need to make her nose a bit narrower. Already got the nose a little bit fat, so we'll make that a bit smaller. Her nose comes out in front of her bottom lip a little bit, like that. She's a beautiful bear, actually. She's gorgeous. Might take a couple of goes to get her how I want her to look, which is fine. It can take a few goes. She's got big shoulders. Now her head and her neck are the same length, and then her neck and her body is 2 times. 1, 2. That's how I come up with the proportions. Measure everything against the head. She's just walking, just ambling along. Oops. Hello, how are you, Grady? I don't know why I can't see my chat. That's weird. So strange. I've got multi-stream on my chat. Make it a bit bigger, maybe. How are you, mate? All right. And she's actually got her back leg right up towards her front leg. And her elbow is sort of here, back here. You can't really see. She's walking up a hill. She's in long grass. So I'm just going to fiddle around till I get everything where I want it. I like to draw things moving. I like to draw animals in action. That leg comes back here. And she's in quite long grass walking up a hill. She's got a tail. She's got to see a little bit of her tail there, like that. Draw her grass coming up around her feet. We'll put like a mountain in the background. There is a bit of a mountain, a bit of a greyish, stormy looking background. So we'll do that as well, or we'll attempt to do that, I should say. Pop some trees in here. Like that. More trees coming out the back end. Over here, just make them a bit more rough looking, like that. And I'm using, this is a dedicated watercolour book that I got given a long time ago. And I really enjoy it. So it's quite a heavy watercolour paper. So that leg's almost all in shadow. And there's a stormy sky. Okay, so I've got my palette up here today, up on my right hand side. Hey Jeremy, how are you, mate? I don't know why. Oh, it's Fishy. Hi, Fishy. I couldn't see it on my stringy thingy. That's really strange. not to worry. Okay. So I'm going to start. I'm going to do a sky background. Now, one thing that was interesting that I didn't realise is you don't use a lot of water. Glad you're doing all right. I'm very good, thank you, mate. So I'm going to make up a purpley grey. Ooh, my blue up there's leaking. I'm going to put my colour chart there so I can see it. And I'm going to do a bluey grey sky. So I'm going to go a bit of blue, indigo. And I'm going to add a little bit of red to that. Purple it up like that. All right. And I'm going to pop this. Whoa, that's dark, but that's cool. Okay. This will dilute it down a fraction. And I just realised I should have put a little bit of tape maybe. Around the edges, but that's okay. And this will dry because where watercolour dries lighter, gouache dries a fraction darker. So that'll be a bit of fun. And I haven't done a test painting. This is the first painting I've done in years in gouache. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just using my watercolour paint brushes. Try to stay not using too much water. And I'm using a mixture of Schminky and Sennelier gouache. But I've heard great reviews about some different brands that I want to try as well. So I'm going to mix up a little bit more, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red. Make that dark purple again. Slightly different mix, but that's okay. I'll blend it out. Continue on around the back edge. Whoops. Hello, Avocado. How are you? You having great fun? Awesome. Me and a Turkish friend are chatting about language things. Ooh, that's exciting. That's very exciting. I should have taped the edges of this, but it doesn't matter. It'll be living in my book anyway. Right, now I'm going to add a little bit of a bit of white in there as well. Just a little bit. Just a bit more white. Just to create a little bit of moody sky. And I don't mind that that's still a little bit wet. I'm going to try and blend out that bit. And this is the difference with gouache. It re-wets on the paper really easily. It's quite a tricky, it's different to watercolour. Where watercolour dries, it stays dry. If I put paint in over an area I've already painted, it will re-wet it. All right, I'm going to pretty much, your brain is stalling with what is direct translations as simpler instruction to Japanese. Oh, well, there you go. I didn't know that. That's fascinating. I'm not going to do too much detail on the sky. I'm just going to let the sky speak for itself. Clean my brush. And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to work my way from top to bottom. So I'm going to do the mountains next. And I'm going to use, I think, I'll start with a little bit of raw sienna. Maybe raw sienna. I'll start with a bit of raw sienna on the mountains. And I'll just go, I'll cut around the bear. I don't have to, but I will. I can go over the foresty bit with green. Make it a little bit thicker than I've got it. I thought I'd incorporate a little bit of a background in it. Cut across there. Because it's a stormy sky, the mountains are going to be a little bit more purpley than I've got them. So I will try and... Why's my picture? Is it not focused? Oh no, it's... Why is my picture not focusing? Okay. I'm going to make a bit more of a greyish. I'm going to purple that off. I'll add a bit of blue to that. Actually, I'll make another purple. I've got to clean my brush between dipping it into other colours. Don't want to contaminate my colours. Make a bit more of a purple. And then I can add some white to that, actually. I keep forgetting I can do that. Ooh, not that much, maybe. And that will lighten that purple off. I'm going to blend that into that background a little bit. Cut around the little bear's face. Like that. I'll leave some gaps on the mountain for light. Not really good at background, so this is fun to practice. Turkish doesn't have pronouns. Really? Well, there you go. I didn't know that either. Full of interesting information, mate. All right, come down and down here. Okay, so I'm happy. I'm not even going to do a whole lot more. The bear's the focus. I'll do the trees now. I'll leave the mountains as they are. Leave the mountains as they are. And I'm going to do the trees, and I'm going to do them in like an olivey green. I've got an olivey green up here. The trees are in the distance and dark, but I can add highlights at the end. So I'm going to just do my trees rough, not worrying. I'm just going to sort of blop in just a rough top tree line like that. Oops. And this is the sort of paint I might even have to dig out my flat brushes, because this is a very soft watercolour brush. And it's very flexible. I might need something a little bit stiffer to do my painting with. They're all just, oh, there you go. That's cool. And this is good because this is opaque too. So it dries matte and opaque. A bit more the pure green. And darken up just some of it. It's not going to look exactly right, but it'll do the job. Leave little snippets of light where it's hitting the trees on the left-hand side. Just a little where it's breaking through the clouds like that. Gives me a little bit of a three-dimensional tree line. So I just went with a little bit more pure pigment. I've got to not treat it like watercolour. I've got to not add so much water. And I've got to be careful that my blue doesn't leak into my white. That would be bad because it's coming out the top of me. Oh, I must have put too much moisture on it when I spritzed it. All right, that is pretty much the background. I'm not going to fiddle with that. I don't think. I'm going to make a lighter green now. I'll go back into my olive. I'll add a bit more yellow. Clean my brush. Add a bit of yellow. Make a yellowy green in the background. And come down around the bear. So I'm doing the background first. It's darker, slightly darker in the background. So I'll just bring that down. about there, I reckon. I just shut my door so my vacuum cleaner doesn't come up in here. Got one of those little electronic vacuums that has a mind of its own. Okay, go back to my green, grab a bit more green. Oops, clean my brush. I'm going to really try hard not to contaminate my paint. Yellow. There we go. Make it a bit more yellowy. Clean my brush again. A bit more yellow. There we go. And I can add detail over the top. I'm liking the background already. And it doesn't matter that I've got little splatters here and there, because I can go over it. All right. Now I've got to fill in the grass in his back legs, on her back legs. And this will be fun because I'll be able to get softer lines, which I'm really excited about trying. Now the foreground grass, I'm going to do a little bit. Hello, Hill. How are you, mate? A little bit lighter again. So I'll add a bit more yellow to the same green. Bit more yellow, maybe a bit of yellow ochre too. Actually, brown it off a little bit. A little bit of yellow ochre to it. And I'm going to blend that down. Whoops. I need to get a bit more pigment. Like that. There we go. Bring that down into the foreground. You see I've got that a little bit too thin. Got to add a bit more pigment. There we go. Take it right to the bottom. You watch, I'm going to rest my hand in this now. Love the bear idea. Thank you. I love bears. I do love bears. And my son-in-law's Canadian, so it's an inspiration. And I was thinking, I didn't know what I wanted to paint. And I thought, you know what? I need to practice my landscapes, but I also love my animals. So I'll incorporate the two. And I've been watching landscape tutorials to help me. I've got some great inspiration from different YouTubers to get into it and have a go. And because I can build layers of this up, so this is layer number 1. Go right to the bottom. I should have taped it, but tomorrow I'll tape the next one. All right. I'm going to darken off the grass in the background a little bit. I'm going to see if I can find a textured sort of brush. Just a cheapy brush that I've got here that I can use for texture. Maybe that one? What is this one? It's a Bohemia. Let's have a go. See how this works. Just a little bit of grass. Or add a bit of yellow to that maybe. A bit more yellow. Do have some flat brushes. There you go. Just in a brand that I don't use usually, or I haven't used in forever, because it's more like for an acrylic. Just darkening up this grass and giving it a bit of texture in the background. I might add some, see you inspires me to try and draw. Do it! Do it! It's good fun. Drawing's just so relaxing for me. It's my happy place. Drawing is my happy place. And I'm glad it's inspiring, mate, because I love it. It's so good for the soul. Drawing is so good for the soul. I'm going to add some little yellow. I might have to go into the stronger yellows onto the grass in the foreground. I'm going to go some yellow ochre actually. Just to add a little bit of grassy texture at the front. I feel like a very imaginative brain as well. I have a very imaginative brain as well. So if I could manage to produce it within a drawing, it might be good. Go for it. Go for it, mate. when you're inspired, that's when you go for it. Okay, so I'm not going to do a whole lot more. I'll wait till the end to do the background, what's left of the background, the final touches. Where's my cloth gone? Did I drop it? Where did I put it? Where did I put my cloth? I had, oh, there it is, kitchen towel. Got my kitchen towel. So we're going to start on the bear now. Done pretty much the background where I want it. Now, the bear is golden brown. I reckon I'm going to go, I'll go raw sienna to start with. And I'm going to grab my square, my flat sort of a brush. Clean off any pigment that's on there. And I'm going to just go onto my bear. Having a look where the ears sit. I've got to add shadows and stuff, so but he's going to look flat to begin with, or she's going to look flat to begin with, but we'll get there. I can even add some light golds, like some yellows on her, because there's a little bit of reflection. So I clean my brush. And I might add I need a sort of a yellow ochre. Actually, I should add some white to that. Get some white on my brush. A little bit of yellow ochre. I keep forgetting I can use white to mix colours, which is nice. And lighten up around the back. Like that. All right. Try and zoom in a fraction more on my. Is that zooming in okay? Can you see that okay? It doesn't look real clear on my screen. Okay. Come down to my yellow, raw sienna. What am I using? Yeah, raw sienna. I'll bring that down quite thickly. Around the edge of the bear. Keeping the brush strokes in general direction of the fur. I'm just going to block in the basic shape first. This is lovely creamy paint too, I have to say. And I'm working under a window, but we've got a very sort of stormy grey looking day today. Put this fur right down. Grab a little bit more onto my palette. And I'm going to do some darker browns coming down into the shadow areas as well. Because this is gouache, I can go over anywhere that I've covered that I shouldn't have in green. I've got to come down here a little bit. That leg comes down here, that leg's bent back, going back towards the hill. You can see this brush is actually splayed at the end a little bit, so it'll really help me when I come to doing texture. And I've actually ordered a little travel palette for the gouache so that I can take it with me when I go, because I take watercolour with me when I go anywhere. But after this, I might want to take gouache, I think, because this is quite, oh, ooh. Okay, I gooped. Hang on, I've got to get that. Oh, I'll go over that. I can go over it. See, I don't have to worry about making a mess because I can go over my mess. Don't know how I did that, but anyway. Okay. down the leg. Might try and lift that up actually. I might try and clean it off. I'm just going to clean my brush. Pick that up. Oh, maybe I'll just pick it up like that maybe. No, that's not going to work. That just made it worse. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to put green over the top. Wet me green, me yellow. It doesn't want to do it, does it? Try and lift. I'll try and scrub it off. I'll just do this. Figure it out. Just clean it off that way. I'll put grass over the top. There we go. That's a bit better. It could be this paper's not helping as well. It's a different paper. I don't usually use this paper. I'll add a bit of grass, a bit of yellow over the top. I can add some grass texture at the end anyway. Ugh. How did I get that on there? Anyway, I'll just do what I just did and clean that up. I'll paint grass over the top of that. That's all right. Okay. Now, back to the bear. I'm going to make a darker brown now. Make a darker brown. So I'll go red-brown. And I might add a little bit of blue to that, a little touch of indigo to my red-brown. That's way too dark. Gee willikers, this is strong stuff. So go back to my red-brown. I'll bring it over here a little bit. Added a little bit of indigo to it, just to darken that up a fraction. There we go. That's a little bit better. And now I'm going to go into the dark parts of the bear, shadow areas. And I can lighten over the top if I want to. That's a nice juicy sort of dark brown. I'll leave little highlights here and there. Got to try not to rest my hand on the page because I don't want to get smudges everywhere. His legs in shadow back here and up onto her tummy. And under here is almost all in shadow. This brown fur. Come down here. I'm a little bit more, not as sort of impressionist with gouache. I find I'm trying to be a little bit more realistic-ish. Trying, being the operative word. Okay. Come around where the eye is. Having a look where there's shadows and stuff. Shadow comes down behind her ear. Onto the shoulder. Darker fur. And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre to that maybe. Come down to this bottom corner and add some yellow ochre to it. Lighten it off. And get a bit of texture coming around the face. I've got to add some light, really lighter tones as well. For now I'm just finagling and finessing around. Put this fur down the leg. Come right down towards the front there. And a bit of fur texture coming down the back here. That leg disappears off into the grass, so that's all right. I'm going to add a light yellow. I'm going to add some yellow ochre and white. Grab some yellow ochre. White. Just got to sop that up a bit because that's pulled down there. Little cloth. Some of my messages won't send. Hi, Fishy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's really weird. I can see that one, but I don't know why I couldn't see the other one. It could be a YouTube thing. Actually, I don't like that. I'm going to add a bit more light, a bit more white. And come down here. Hello, Shane. How are you, mate? So this is naturally greyed off anyway, a little bit with the yellow ochre. So I'm quite happy with that effect. He looks more like a buffalo, hey? But that's okay. We'll fix his eye and his face, or her face. I might go a bit of more yellow ochre. That's not yellow ochre. Clean my brush properly. I'm good. How are you? I'm great, mate. I am great. Just having a play with gouache today, which is good fun. Bit more white to that. There we go. Going to go around the eye a little bit and just, I've got to go around the lip a little bit. She's got a highlight sort of there. I'll pick out little bits as I go. Just exaggerating the highlights at the second. Just trying to figure this stuff out. I'm going to go back in with pure yellow ochre. Might even try a bit of yellow because I'm thinking this is sort of doing it, but not really. So I might go clean my brush. Oh, actually, I'll do the eye first. I'm just going to smooth this out a little. Staying at my girlfriend's house for the next few days. Nice. How's she doing? Because she had a cold last time we spoke. How's she going? Just going to smooth this out a fraction. Like that. And pop that eye back in. I'll pop the eye in with a dark brown, like a burnt umber, burnt sienna-ish maybe colour. Like that. Bottom of the nose. And into the mouth. I can smooth this off a bit in a minute. Let's have a quick look. Got to really soften it. She's good. She's already fallen asleep. Nice. Good, good, good. I see I've made that way too dark. I'm going to lighten up over the top of this a little bit. Darken her brow. Darken the nose a little bit. Just trying to figure this out as I go. I'm going to try a bit of yellow. We'll see what yellow does. What a warm yellow does to the fur on the back. And also a bit of warm yellow coming down here. Because the fur's all burnt in different colours, and down here like that. Anywhere I see the lighter fur. A little bit of a highlight maybe top of the back of the neck, and very top of her back, and her rump comes up. She's got quite a high bump on her back, like that. I'm not happy with the face. I've got to do something with the face. I'm not sure what or how. I'm just going to change the face a little. It's got to grab a smaller brush. I want to get some more definition going on there somehow. So I've got to go darker fur. This brush is too soft. Go to one of my older brushes, one of my different brushes. Got a bit of red sienna, burnt sienna. Darker around the eye, around the top of the eye there. A bit darker onto the tip of the nose. Oops. Just trying to get a little bit more something going. I'm going to get a little bit of light onto the tip of the nose. Like that. A little bit of a highlight coming down there. I'm going to try and get a bit, I'm going to try and blend this bit here. Wet my brush and blend that out a little bit, just to take that damp. Because you can move this stuff around. You can move gouache around quite a lot. Once it's on the paper, I'm going to soften these edges down here as well, just taking the damp brush to the edges of that. Like that. That's starting to look a bit more like a bear. Starting to look a bit more like a bear. We're getting there. I'm going to add a little bit of this darker yellow. Under the mouth there. And come back in with some fur texture there. Okay, it's looking all right. We're getting there. We're getting there. I do have to soften up this line here. It's much too dark. Add a bit more fur on the top of his head. Her head, rather. So we're starting to get into a little bit of detail now. Just a little. I'll add a little bit of yellow ochre. And draw this fur texture on. She's got all ripples of fur. There's no fast way of doing this. I've just got to take my time. I've got to go into a darker brown even, just there, on the base at the back of the ear. It's like a chocolatey brown. Pop that, a little bit of that on the shoulder as well. I've got to try and get this fur to look more furry. Down following the directions of the fur. We'll darken this off just down here, just adding fur texture. Excuse my alerts going off. I think I've got to move the eye a little bit. Not 100% sure. It's something I think I've got to, that's what I've done. I've got to make I've got to bring the sky down a little bit because I've got to change the shape of his face. That's what I've done. I've got the shape of the face just a tiny little bit wrong. The face should be down. Okay, I'm going to make up some more sky colour. I think I've still got some on my palette here. See, well, actually, I'll see if I can just wet it and just lift it off the paper. So I should be able to lift it off. I was trying to figure out what I'd done. Yeah, I can lift it off. That's okay. It's going to change this part of his face because I'm not happy with it. I'm going to put some sky back in. And how did I make the sky? I made a purple, blue and red. And then I added white, but I'll do the blue and red first. And I'm just going to bring that sky, looking at the shape of the face. Got to come more of an angle there. Like that. And then more of an angle there. Okay. I'm going to just clean my brush and just smudge that out a little bit. Blend it into the sky in the background. Oh, golly gosh. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. I'm just playing with gouache. Having a bit of a fun. Is that a PS5? In the background? Yes, it is. Over there. It's my PS5. I haven't played in ages. I'm going to blend all that back into the background. And actually, you know what? I quite like that. I'm going to go round the rest of him a little bit. And I've got to make that ear a little bit shorter. The ear's not quite so big. So there we go. That's a bit better. Blend that out a bit. And welcome. Welcome. So yes, rather struggling, but having fun trying because I'm a watercolour artist usually. But I've been so inspired watching other streamers with gouache that I'm like, oh, I'm going to give that a go. I've done it years ago, but I haven't done it for a long, long time. I'm going to try and pretend that there's some clouds there that weren't there before, but they're now they're there. Okay. Okay, I'm a bit happy with that head shape now. I'm a bit happy with that head shape, except I've got it just that fraction too dark around him, but that's okay. What can we do to that? I'll just add some more white. I've just got to soften up. I might try and make it look a bit more of a natural. That's looking a bit better. That's a better shape. That is a better shape. And I'll just add some more here and there so it doesn't look like I've just blobbed that spot. Because, yeah, I did just blob that spot. But anyway, we won't worry. I'll get some more white, add into there. Take me purpley bits over here. Just little clouds in the distance. How am I going to do this? I don't know. I want to try and tidy that up a bit more. I'm going to damp my brush just a little. Just try and soften that out into the background a little bit. Just need to soften it a fraction because it still looks a bit sort of blobby there. All right, but the shape of the head's much better. Shape of the head's much better. All right. All right. Now, here's where we mess it up again. So I'm going to go back into my darker brown. carefully put the eye back. Like that. Not going to go as hard with the dark. Down the front of the nose. That. You're good. What inspired you into drawing? Oh, I have. Thank you very much first. And I have. There's not a time in my life. There's no time. I've always drawn. Always. My very first memories are drawing. I don't ever remember a time not drawing. It was really interesting, actually. I was talking about this the other day. I can remember being a little kid, and my grandma used to get fish, like go to the fish and chip shop, and she'd get the butcher's paper, like the paper they wrap your fish and chips in. It was just clear white paper, and she'd bring it home in reams for me so I could draw when I was a little kid. And when she passed away, we were going through her stuff, and she still had my drawings from when I was a little kid. And I drew lots and lots of birds. But I've always drawn. You know, I just love drawing. Drawing's my favourite thing on earth to do. If I'm feeling stressed or upset or happy or sad or any of the things, I draw. For all the emotions, I draw. I'm just going to make a stronger shadow colour with a blue and the darker purple. And see if that works. Probably not gonna, but yeah, I think I've got a bit of white in there. But you know what? That's actually not a bad colour. And I'm just going to add that on top of the brown underneath. Because I want to get a few different colours through the shadows. And this is, I haven't used gouache in a long time. So I'm very rusty. But it's lots of fun. And so do you draw? What's your thing, NSR? Yeah, my grandma was beautiful, and she was artistic as well. My dad and my grandma were both quite artistic people. And my mum was a painter. But my mum did porcelain painting, which is and ceramics and pottery and stuff. Very, very time consuming. Like she'd do one layer, then fire the plate, then do another layer, then fire the plate. She had her own kiln, and so Mum did really complex, really intricate work. But yeah, there's never a time. I don't ever remember not drawing. It's part of my soul. Definitely part of my soul. I don't mind that. What do you think? Actually, what do you guys think? This is not looking bad. Not looking bad at all. I'm quite surprised. That changing that face, that little bit, has really lifted him. You know, I'll look at it in an hour and I'll think it looks rubbish because that's how I roll. But he's looking okay. And I've just blobbed out his face. The face is looking a lot better. I had to redo the face because I sort of messed it up and he was starting to look a bit like a bison. And we don't want our bear to be bison. So, he was having a bit of an identity crisis, my poor old bear. Having a bit of a crisis, so we had to fix it. So we did. But because I'm so not sure about gouache, I wasn't sure how to fix it. So it's not zooming in properly, and I don't know why. I fiddled with my settings, and I've messed them all up, but that's okay. Now, I'm going to do some grass. I'm going to do some more foregroundy grass. And I'm going to mix my own green because this is, why not? Severe case of, oh, well, here we go. Because, yep. So I'm going to go into my cobalt blue. I'm going to go into my lemon yellow. I can do this. I can mix up my own grasses. I can do this. I can do this, and I will do this, and it will be okay. And then I'm going to get enough on my brush to actually pick up and try and do some different grassy. That I haven't made anywhere near enough, but that's okay. We'll do that again, shall we? We'll get some more blue. A little bit more blue. A little bit more yellow. A little bit more yellow. Like that. And put in some grass. Got to go over the bit that I messed up before. got all brown blobs in. It's the beauty of gouache is you can go over it again a few times if you need to. I'm going to use my bigger brush actually. Go to my bigger brush. I just need to get some more expressive sort of lines. I'm not going to do it absolutely everywhere, but I want it around the bear's legs. Nice, Yogi. Thank you. Can you fix the focus? I can, I think, but I have to fiddle with my computer, my doodah. I have to go into my settings, which is a pain, which I will do for next stream. I thought I'd fixed it, but you know. I'll see if I can, I'll see. Oh, look, let's press some buttons. Let's see if I can do this. Go to, oh, hang on. Got to stand up so I can see it. Go to, I can't even see. Oh my God. Go to menu. Oops, press menu. Okay, I'm sorry, you're all upside down now. No, I won't do that today. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll just we have to maybe leave it. Because yeah, that's not going to work. So I apologise for that, people. Just going to bring it back a fraction so you can get it out of the chat. There we go. It's a bit better. Okay. I'm not minding it. I'm not minding him. Not looking too bad. It's fine, thank you. Whoops. There is brown grasses as well. So we'll add some yellowy flowers on it. I've got to go to work after this, so just waiting to see how this turns out. So I just want, yeah, the grass in the foreground. I could probably add some little flowers. It'd probably be like bluebells and things, I would think. And I haven't done any snow or anything on the mountains. I'm just going to leave the background quite simple. I might purple off a little bit more. So that's actually dried lighter. I thought it was supposed to dry darker. It actually, to me, looks like it's dried a little bit lighter. I've got the light happening anyway, so I can definitely see that he's got light going on, which is nice. I might add... Oh, actually, I'll go into my pure yellow really thickly. I need a bright yellow though. Maybe I'll try a bit of white just to create a few little flowery bits. So a bit of texture on the grass in the foreground. Like that. Just a few blobs of different, that creates flowery texture. I'm quite happy with that. That's turning out all right. Don't want to overdo it. Now I'm going to go maybe a little bit of olive. I've got to darken up. I'm going to add some olive into my purple in the background. So I want to darken up just the base of these trees. And then the bear needs a shadow. I forgot me bear's shadow because I'm a duffer. So we've got to put the bear's shadow in. Just darkening up the base of the trees a little. So I just mixed it real dark with, very dark with the olive. Because it pushes everything to the background. The ghost bear doesn't cast shadows. It is. You know, a few just squiggles. Not too much. Too much is too much. Less is more. Too much is just plain old too much. So I've got to draw a shadow under her. And I reckon, so I'm going to do a dark green. I'll make a super dark green, go into the olive, and I'll add some indigo to it. Ooh, scared. Okay. And I'm going to very carefully just add this olivey dark right underneath him, her, just to ground there like that. There we go. Have it going in behind. I'll pop a little bit into the foreground just because it's not going to be just in one spot like that, and that helps to unify it a little bit. Adding a few of the grassy textures darker. Like that. I reckon I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? The light's sort of coming down and hitting him from the right hand side. Probably add a little bit more. Gotta be so careful I don't overdo it. I just don't want to, because I'm quite liking it. I just don't want to overdo it. All right. Having a look. Clean my brush, and I'm going to add a light onto the top of her back. And I'm quite impressed that my background's turned out, because I'm not usually much of a background person. So I'm going to make that yellow, bright yellow. Down her back. I do need some white with it though. You watch me mess up my white paint. Just a touch. I've got to raise the angle on her rump a little bit there. Having a quick look. Just going to brown off a little bit. Just here. Oops, it is. I've got to be very gentle. Just want to dull that off a bit. Have the highlight sort of closer to the top of the neck. Having a look at my big screen. Go into my transparent, or my burnt sienna. I always call it transparent sienna. It's in my watercolours, that's what I use. Just getting a little bit more of the furry textures. Coming in and around. Definitely looking like a bear. That's always a good thing. I surprise myself sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, is it going to work? It always hits an ugly face. And you go, oh no, this is just a mess. And then you come out the other side and go, hang on a minute. That looks okay. That looks okay. I might actually be able to save this piece. So that's nice. All right. I reckon I'm going to call that. I'm going to say that's done because I'm quite happy with that. I've got my little bit of shadow. I might add a little bit of darker, just a little bit more indigo. Just into the very dark, because shadows aren't ever just one colour. There's a million. If you look at a shadow, there's all different reflections within a shadow. So I'll just add a little bit more extreme dark there. I'll also add a little bit of that at the base of a few of these trees. Okay, I'm going to call that done. That is done. Sometimes I hate things in the moment and come back to it years later and wonder why. Yeah, I know, same. And yeah, and it's really interesting because some things that I love that I post online and it doesn't get any likes. Stuff that I don't like, people like. I just don't understand. It's interesting how the mind works, and that just shows you that everyone's different. Everyone likes different things. Everyone's perception's a little bit different. And I am going to call that done. So, well, thank you for hanging out with me. And that was my first gouache painting in a very, very long time in yonks and yonks and yonks and yonks and yonks. And look, I've managed to not get covered in it, which is really rare. I've got it all over my pinky finger, but I haven't got it anywhere else. And I'm really loving the sky, and I'm really liking the background, and I'm really excited. This is pretty dang cool. So, thank you. That was lots of fun. I'll just move it away from the chat a little bit so you can see it. There we go. So that was lots of fun. And I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to go to work now. So that was my play for the morning. And yeah, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for click like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And I will see you all tomorrow again. Have a great one.